welcome everyone. Um, we're going to be here to talk about immunity today. So I'm with Organica and Healthy Planet today. So we're going to talk a little bit about the immune system, what causes it to be weak, and how we can support our immune system naturally. So in the chat, I do have Paula. So Paula is my coworker. She works with Organica as well. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, Paula will be happy to help you. And then at the end, we'll stick around for a few minutes for any other questions. Right. Just one moment. All right, so just wanted to start with a little bit of who I am so you know who you're speaking with or who's speaking to you today. So my name is Stephanie and I work for Organica Health Products and I work in the office. I've been here for about 6 years, so it's been quite the journey. Currently, I'm the customer experience manager. So if you've ever sent an email or called, I may have spoke with you. And I also help support wellness education. Just seeing that there's an echo, is that for everyone? Let's see here. Sorry, we had a few technical difficulties today, so I'm just gonna fit a few things here. All good? Okay. Okay, thanks, Paula. So back to who I am. So I have studied nutrition. I've worked in some health food stores in BC and Toronto. So I have a lot of passion for health and wellness. I also teach Pilates and yoga on the side. So I'm really happy to be here to talk about immune system today. So today we're going to talk about what is the immune system, what is immunity, different functions of the immune system, what weakens it, and then start talking about how we can support our immune system naturally. Awesome. So let's get started. So what is the immune system? So the immune system is one of our many body systems, which is our main defense against pathogens, viruses, and bacteria. So our immune system is very complex. It's made up of many cells, tissues, and organs. So we have our white blood cells, we have our T cells, we have our lymph nodes, our lymph fluid, our appendix, our bone marrow, where our white blood cells are actually made. So it's a very complex system, but it works together to fight off illness. So we know when we get a cold or flu, our immune system's usually weakened, but our immune system comes into play to help us recover faster and fight off this infection. Same with wound healing. So when we get a cut or a scrape, our immune system comes into play, sending blood cells towards that area to help with inflammation and help repair quickly. When our immune system's weak, we know that we stay sick a lot longer, and when we get a cut, it takes a lot longer for it to heal. So when our immune system's working really well, we feel good, and even if we're exposed to a cold or flu, we're able to fight off really quickly. So what is immunity? So immunity is our body's ability to resist harmful invaders like our viruses, bacteria, and toxins. So when we think of immunity, we may have a strong immunity or a weak immunity. So our immune system is the body system that works together, but our immune system's actually the ability of our immune system to fight off if it's well or if it's weak, we get sick longer. And there's different types of immunity. So we have our innate immunity. So this is our immunity that we get at birth. It's natural and it's non-specific. And then we have adaptive. So it's developed over time. So this may include a vaccine. So we get a cold or flu vaccine. So it's developed over time and it's a specific response. So we get a flu shot for a specific strain of flu or virus, and that's going to help protect us against that in the future. So how does the immune system work? So first, our immune system is working by detecting. So when we're all good, we get exposed to some sort of virus or illness, and our immune system comes into play, and we detect that something's not right. Once we're exposed to some sort of virus, our immune system starts to attack. So we create white blood cells in our bone marrow, we create antibodies with protein, and they team up to fight off these invaders. And then going forward, our immune system has a good memory. So once we've been exposed to a virus before, when we are exposed again, our immune system remembers and we can fight it off a lot faster and recover a lot faster. So our immune system's pretty complex, but a pretty powerful tool to keep us nice and healthy. So what weakens our immune system? So I think probably a lot of these don't come as a surprise to many of us, but all of these activities really weaken our immune system. So of course we have smoking. Smoking has a lot of harmful chemicals. And when we ingest harmful chemicals, our immune system becomes weak and is unable to fight infection as we would. We're not sleeping enough or having quality sleep. So when we're sleeping, that's when our body is recovering. If we're not getting quality sleep and we're exposed to a virus or illness, our immune system's not going to be able to fight it, and it's actually going to become more weak. If we're very sedentary, so we're not moving a lot, we're not exercising, our body's not going to be doing well. And physical activity actually helps boost our immunity. Even just daily walks can be a great, powerful tool for our immune system. Diet, of course, a lot of us are on the go now. We're not eating at home as much, so we're eating out. And the downfall of that is a lot of the time the food is nutrient depleted. So we're not getting the vitamin C, the vitamin D, the zinc, those nutrients that we need for a healthy immune system. Certain medications hinder the absorption of certain nutrients that we need for our immune system. Some medications can also be pretty harsh on our immune system. Chronic disease, so a lot of illnesses actually affect our immune system. So a lot of talk now about autoimmune disorders. And when we have an autoimmune disorder, our immune system's actually attacking our body. So when we're attacking our body, our immune system's really confused and it's working overtime and just becoming more and more weak. We have alcohol, so excessive drinking can really affect a lot of things in our body, but mainly our immune system is very affected when we're drinking too much alcohol. Because when we're drinking too much alcohol, we're not getting the nutrients we need, our liver's working overtime, our antioxidants that our liver makes are not being made, and we're also really dehydrated. Chronic stress, so prolonged stress actually increases our cortisol levels. And when our cortisol is high, our immune system's working overtime to try to compensate. So that weakens our immune system. And then we have dehydration. So when we're dehydrated, our immune system's not able to produce enough lymph fluid. And our lymph fluid actually helps get our blood cells throughout our body and get rid of the pathogens. So when we're dehydrated, we're not going to be having a strong immune system. And I saw one study that approximately 70% of adults are chronically dehydrated. So probably not having the greatest immune system too. Coming into, is my immune system suppressed? So we might think, okay, like I haven't been sick in a while, my immune system's probably great. That might not be the case. If you are involved in some of these activities, or you have some of these symptoms, your immune system may be getting weaker over time. So again, I kind of just talked about the stress levels, but when we're super stressed, our cortisol levels are high, we're not getting a lot of sleep, we might not be doing things like working out, we might be eating not so great. So that's going to be really hard on our immune system over time. If you feel lethargic consistently, you're tired, your battery is on empty, that's often an indication that our immune system's not working great. Coming back to the wound healing. So if you get a paper cut, you scrape your knee, and it's just not healing, you're putting a Band-Aid, you're cleaning it, that's usually a weakened immune system. Again, going back to the lack of movement. So if you're someone who sits a lot at work and then you go home, maybe watching some Netflix, not going for your daily walk or daily exercise, over time, your immune system's going to be even more suppressed. Gut health issues. So some research says that 70% of our immune system is actually in our gut. So if we have symptoms like IBS, leaky gut, or generally just poor digestion, that is going to affect our immune system. And over time, we're going to experience more illness, low immunity. So you find yourself sick all the time. So you're constantly that person who has a sore throat, who has sinus issues. That's a huge indication that your immune system's very weak and needs to be supported. And then finally, diet. So if you're someone who's constantly eating out or not eating at home, your immune system's probably going to be weakened due to lack of vitamin C, D, all those nutrients that we need for a healthy immune system. So it's a great time for us to talk about immunity because we're going into fall and winter. So I think a lot of people know during fall and winter, cold and flu season, I guess we call it cold and flu season, starts to happen. A lot of people get their flu shots in the fall and winter. Not that we don't need a healthy immune system all year round, but we're involved in different activities in the fall and winter. So typically in the fall and winter, we're going inside a lot more. So we might be closer to people and more exposed to viruses in a small environment or closed environment. We're not getting enough vitamin D. So vitamin D plays a huge role in our immune function. And fall and winter in Canada, we're not getting a lot of sunlight. Diet changes. So when the seasons change, we're not getting those fruits and vegetables that we were. So typically people's diet changes as well. So lower intake of those immune boosting nutrients, stress and fatigue. So maybe going back to school, holiday season can be very stressful for people. I know myself included, I get a lot more busy. And when we're more busy, we're taking care of ourselves a lot less. So this is why we typically see more flu and cold in the fall and winter. And then going back to school, so a lot of us with young kids, they're heading back to school this month. So a fun little way we can explain the immune system to our kids is telling them that our immune system is a superhero that helps fight off germs, especially when you go back to school. So again, kids are exposed to viruses. They're in those classrooms closer to other kids. Their immune system may be getting weaker due to less vitamin D, less fruit and vegetables. Getting back on a school schedule can be pretty hard. So there might be fatigue or stress for those young kids, and then seasonal changes as well. So how can we help our kids stay healthy? Continuously getting them their fruit and veggies, as well as protein. Protein is very crucial for our antibodies. So we definitely need to have more protein. Sleeping well, trying to stay on a really consistent sleep cycle is very important. Washing our hands, we all know this, at least 20 seconds before we eat, after we play. Exercising daily. So physical activity is one of the most easy ways that we can actually boost our immune system. And then taking supplements, especially when we're not getting the nutrients from our diet, like zinc, vitamin C, and probiotics are a huge, have a huge impact on our immune system. So we're going to start talking now about optimizing our immune system naturally. So just a few lifestyle changes, diet and supplement changes that we can do to really support our immune system. So foods for immunity. So again, I was kind of talking about how when we eat out, we're on the go, we're not getting those nutrients we need. So we need a variety of nutrients for a healthy immune system. So we need our vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, protein, and fiber, healthy fats, all work together for a healthy immune system. So foods like our citrus fruits and berries are really high in antioxidants and vitamin C. So I think everyone knows vitamin C is always talked about. It's one of the most powerful vitamins for our immune system. Salmon, omega-3. So we need omega-3 fatty acids to help with inflammation. The more inflammation we have in our body, the weaker our immune system is, and the more likely we are to get sick when we are exposed to viruses. Things like things that have probiotics, like certain yogurts, kefir, kombucha, sauerkraut, are going to be really good for our gut. So probiotics are the healthy bacteria. And I mentioned before, about 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So if we have an unhealthy gut, we have an unhealthy immune system. So some tips to get a whole foods diet. So minimizing those processed foods. It's pretty much impossible when we're on the go to not eat out ever, but at least minimizing that to as low as you can. Making sure you read and consider food labels. In Canada, our food labels don't have all the nutrients, but they usually have vitamin C, but you can usually read more about that on the website of the food company, or do a quick Google search on that food. Cook meals at home more often. When we eat out, it may even seem healthy, but we also don't always know what's going into that food. Plan and prepare. What I like to do is Sunday, I usually plan out what I'm going to eat, buy the fruits and vegetables and meat, and then I plan it out for the week. So I'm not at work reaching for snacks or going out to eat for lunch. But that's not to say don't enjoy your treats, but have them in moderation and listen to your body's response to things. Certain ingredients or proteins like gluten can really trigger an immune response, especially with people with autoimmune disorders. So really notice when you're eating, if you feel off after and you eat it again and you feel off, then it may not be something that you can have. And you can always chat with your doctor about that. Sleeping. I know this is trouble for a lot of us, but when we don't have a consistent sleep schedule, our immune system is becoming more weak. So it's actually ideal to have the same bedtime and same wake up time every day, which I know can be tricky on the weekends, but it's good to have at least approximately the same sleep schedule. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine. So I know a lot of us, me included, at night, we're on our phones scrolling, whatever we're doing on our phones. It's actually really not a good way to go to bed, because the blue light in our screens actually affects our melatonin levels, and that's gonna disrupt our quality sleep. And then it's also not relaxing. When we're on our phones, our nervous system is actually reactive and slowly becomes dysregulated, even if we don't notice it at first. And then we just don't have that quality sleep. Staying physical during the day can actually help us have a nice sleep. Managing stress through relaxation techniques. So not one size fits all. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to read. Whatever it is that works for you to relax, incorporate that before bed. And then there's supplements like magnesium, ashwagandha, glycine that can actually really help you relax at night and have that really good quality sleep. Coming back to that physical activity, I think it goes without saying that being physical is needed throughout our life, but really good for our immune system. So even daily walks can tremendously improve our immune system. Things like yoga, strength training, so any weightlifting, super great for our muscles and bones, but it's also going to be great for our immune system. And then coming into stress, so a little bit of stress is fine. We need some stress to get us going, to keep us motivated. But when it's becoming prolonged and too much stress, our cortisol level goes up, our immune system goes down. So we really need to find some stress management that works for us. So spiritual practices like yoga, meditation, supplements like magnesium, adaptogens can really help us bring our stress levels down. And then nature therapy. So I think in Canada, we have a lot of options for nature. So getting yourself out in nature, even for 10 minutes, can be so impactful for your health and your immune system. And then hydration. So I spoke a little bit about hydration. So when we're dehydrated, we're not making enough lymph fluid. So we're not going to be getting our blood cells throughout our body. We're also not going to be able to remove pathogens or toxins as quickly or as well. So when we're dehydrated, our immune system's very effective. So we're going to go into supplements now. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water here. So not only can our diet and our lifestyle really impact our immune system in the good ways, when we're struggling to get in nutrients, there's a lot of options through supplementation. A lot of the times our diet is just not, we're not able to get all the nutrients we need. In the fall and winter, we're not getting outside as much, so we're really lacking vitamin D. Maybe we were on a medication or an antibiotic, so we're not getting the probiotics we need. So there's a lot of options through supplementation. And because I'm here with Organica today, we're going to talk about some of those supplements that you can get at Healthy Planet to support your immune system. So we're starting with bone broth. So I think everyone knows, like, their grandma or their mom would make them chicken noodle soup when they got sick. And there's a lot of reason for that. Chicken and beef bone broth are highly nutritious. So how it works is their meaty bones are simmered for 24 to 48 hours. And then the liquid is brought into a powder, and that helps lock in the nutrients. It's a very short process, and the simmering locks in those nutrients. So how does it help immunity? So bone broth is very high in protein and amino acids like glycine and proline that really help support the gut. So when our gut is healthy, our immune system is healthy. Bone broth is very rich in minerals that we need for our immune system. And then it's also very rich in collagen. So I know there's a lot of talk about collagen. Collagen is very high in amino acids that we need for our antibodies, as well as repair in our body. At Organica, we have the chicken bone broth, which we have a few different options. So you have your original, which there's no herbs, spices. It's strictly bone broth, so it's very allergen friendly. We have a ginger flavor, and then there's also the turmeric black pepper, which is very spicy, but if you have any sinus issues, it's definitely going to clear them out. And then if you're more into beef, then we have the beef bone broth. A little difference is beef bone broth will have type 1 and 3 collagen, so really good for your hair, skin, nails, your bones, your joints. And then the chicken is type 2. And with the type 2, it's really good for your cartilage, your joints, and also your gut health. And these are very easy to mix into hot water, different recipes. I like to have the chicken bone broth in the afternoon when I'm feeling a little bit hungry. It's a really high protein, so it's like kind of like a great snack as well. Coming into those nutrients that we're often lacking in our diet. So vitamin D, it's really hard to get vitamin D from our actual diet. Typically, we get it from exposure to the sun, and coming up into the fall and winter in Canada, we're not really getting any sun exposure. So it's really good to supplement with a vitamin D. And vitamin D in a liquid form with a carrier oil, so a fat to help absorb it, is a great option. And it's really awesome. You only need a drop of it. So just like a little drop, and you have your daily vitamin D intake. Vitamin C, again, vitamin C is, I think, the most talked about vitamin that people think about when they think immune system. And that's because it's a really powerful antioxidant, and it helps production of our immune cells. And zinc mineral that people are often deficient in. Zinc is incredible at supporting our immune system, but it's also really good at wound healing. So if you have any cuts or scrapes and they're not healing, usually we're deficient in zinc. And a little fun fact, vitamin D deficiency is one of the most common vitamin deficiencies. So these supplements can be taken on their own, or we can find different formulas that actually combine all of them in one. NAC, or N-acetyl L-cysteine. I hope I said that right. Sometimes I say it wrong and I get corrected. So basically, this is an amino acid. It's a precursor for L-glutathione. So L-glutathione is one of the most powerful antioxidants that we make in our liver. But when our liver is not working optimally, often we're not making enough. So NAC is actually really helpful at boosting the production of glutathione, which helps protect our immune cells from oxidative damage. NAC is really great for our detoxing. It's great at helping our immune system. And it's really great for people that have sinus issues or mucus buildup. It's a great nutrient for respiratory health issues. So NAC is a great option as well. And there's also been a lot of studies coming out with NAC in the last couple of years. So it's a really great supplement for our immune system. Coming into reishi mushrooms. So I think everyone, not everyone, but I think a lot of people know that mushrooms are a really, really powerful fungus or plant, whatever we want to call it. And reishi mushroom is one of the most talked about mushrooms. So reishi mushrooms are great at activating our white blood cells. So again, our white blood cells are the part of the immune system that help fight off infection. So if we don't have those, we're typically getting more sick and not recovering fast enough. So reishi is anti-inflammatory, a powerful antioxidant. It also works as an adaptogen. So adaptogen helps our body with stress. So when our cortisol levels are really high from stress, adaptogens can help bring them down and keep us level. So reishi is really great at helping us with that stress, because when we're too stressed, our immune system is weak. Coming into spirulina. So spirulina is a blue-green algae. So it's a superfood. Blue-green algae is usually made in or found in lakes. But what's unique about this one specifically is that it's actually grown in underground pools. And what's great about that is it supports not having heavy metals, toxins, because if you find spirulina in the lake, usually they're high in toxins. So this is a really great way to get your antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. It's really great for vegans. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, this is a great option to include into your diet. It's a powerful antioxidant, really good at detoxing our body, getting rid of toxins, and it's really a strong immune booster. This product is an algae, so it does have a little bit of a taste to it, but most people like to mix it into their smoothies. Um, there is options to take it in capsules and tablets as well. Coming into our bee propolis, so I think it goes without saying that anything that comes from a bee is pretty powerful. We have our honey, royal jelly, bee pollen, and then we have our bee propolis. So bee propolis is the bee glue that's actually found in the hives or the honey bee hives. So it's made from bees, and it's really powerful antioxidant, it's antibacterial, it supports wound healing, it's great for our gut health, and it's just a really powerful immune booster. I've actually been taking it daily because I feel like my throat's a little off. So we have the option for the liquid, which you can literally just put in your mouth or in water. And if you have any throat issues, we have the spray bottle and you just spray it on your throat, and it's a great option on the go. Coming back into probiotics. So as I mentioned, approximately 70% of our immune system is in our gut. So if you're experiencing digestive issues from IBS or leaky gut, your immune system is probably weakened, and we need to improve our gut bacteria. So probiotics are the beneficial bacteria in our gut needed for healthy digestion, healthy immune system, and to remove bacteria from our body. So it's a really great idea to get a prebiotic and a probiotic. So a prebiotic helps feed our probiotics. So if we don't have prebiotics, then our probiotics are not getting fed and not growing and not supporting. So most people do need a daily probiotic, either from their diet or supplement, especially if you've taken any antibiotics, medication, excuse me, or were recently sick, you need to improve your probiotics. All right. So I'm just going to finish off today with electrolytes. So I touched a little bit on how when we're dehydrated, we're not making enough lymph fluid, so we're not getting the pathogens out of our body as fast, and we're also not getting our blood cells where they need to go. So it's really important that we're staying hydrated. And as I mentioned, approximately 70% of adults are chronically dehydrated, which sounds very large, but it makes sense because I feel like a lot of people aren't drinking even enough water, but most people are not getting the electrolytes or minerals from their diet or supplementation to absorb their water and stay hydrated. So many of us should be taking an electrolyte supplement. And there's many options at Organica, and you can find all these at Healthy Planet. But we have our pure electrolytes that we actually did a webinar, I think, a couple months ago on electrolytes. So you should be able to find that on the YouTube page, a more in-depth look at electrolytes. But we have our pure electrolytes. So this is electrolytes and vitamin C. So a great option to stay hydrated and boost your immune system. But we also have electrolytes like our Defense, which are really catered at promoting hydration and immunity with things like echinacea, elderberry, and zinc, nutrients that are really great at helping support our immune system. What's great about all the electrolytes are there's zero sugar, it's instant hydration. So once you consume it, you're going to feel hydrated really quickly. And then they're very allergen friendly and vegan friendly. And fun fact, all of the electrolytes have prebiotic fiber. So again, going back to the probiotics, we need that prebiotic to really feed our probiotics and have a healthy gut and then a healthy immune system. So I just wanted to finish off with who is Organica. So I've been talking about immunity and then some of Organica. Organica is a Canadian-owned company, and this should be changed because we're actually 34 years now. And we can be found at all Healthy Planet locations in store and also on healthyplanet.com. I wanted to touch a little bit on the quality because when we're taking supplements, we really want to ensure that they're safe. So at Organica, we actually have a lot of safety and quality procedures. All of the products are third-party tested, non-GMO, and we test for over 100 parameters. So things like heavy metals, bacteria, yeast, we actually test to make sure that the product absorbs in our bodies. So we want to make sure that it's not only safe for consumption, but it's actually doing what you need it to do. We have a huge commitment to our community. We're involved in a lot of different initiatives. And then finally, I wanted to mention that we're moving towards we want to be more environmentally friendly. So recently we became carbon neutral certified. So in the next year, we're going to be involved in a lot of environmental initiatives, as well as our packaging being post-consumer recyclable. So we're really excited about that. And I just want to finish off here. I just added a few reviews on our products and a little bit of contact info at the bottom here. So if you leave here and you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to us. We have many options. We're on WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, email. You can give us a call, and we're really happy to help you with any questions you might have. And that's all from me today. I'm just going to open up the chat here, and I thank you all for joining today.